A wanderer who eats raw meat coughed up blood and fell into the river. Blood flows into the city. In just one night, Moscow City appeared via unspecified. It's terrifying. Withdrawal. Countless infected people went crazy. His pupils turned white and he turned into a bloodthirsty monster. Is hiding it. Fooling people is just the common flu. A disaster is about to happen. A normal day. Anna woke up from a nightmare. The husband Noongay next door saw her panic. Comfort you. The phone is ringing now. After reading the message, Noongay immediately to playing the park with the little boy. Anton, your mother-in-law says she's not home. So make time for the two of you to meet. When you're having fun. Ex-wife Elena appears hordes, criticizing Noongay for violating divorce agreement. You agreed not to see your son. You don't know how to do that. Maybe don't listen to Irina. I swear you are bad. As a result, at this time, people on the road are suddenly in trouble. Everyone rushed to mom. Nice wife. Run to the enemy and do artificial But no one noticed. The man's eyes were white. It seems to have an epidemic. Interrupted by this, Irina didn't say anything else and took her son away. Still sister gay. When I got back, I followed the news and called Come and watch it on TV. An unspecified type is spreading land in the city of Moscow. The host invited experts to answer about this type 6 withdrawal. Capital to expert Tran and people. No doubt the VI expert withdrew to reveal the scary VI truth. Withdrawal says that the speed of land transmission is very fast, although it's very similar to pneumonia. The symptoms are severe. The eyes of the infected person will change. Coughing up blood. It is likely that 3 to 4 days later he will die. The expert said so seriously. The host just cut the talk. Moscow's infectious people are no longer worried, but experts continue to disagree. According to the latest data, 2,000 people have been infected. The government should not hide from the people. The experts' results are still unfinished. The show is over. Love is not that simple. At the same time, the whole city is under heavy surveillance right now. The army monitors the entrance to the city. Irina still doesn't know. I'm still working. It turns out that many of my colleagues were wearing masks. She went to the bathroom to hear a cough. When he opened the door, the enemy was no longer alive. Low son in danger, so I hurried off to school. Results outside the school gathered many parents. Not long before. In the school there are infected people. A cool red-eyed girl sitting in a corner. After the school reported it, the security guard just arrived at school. Asked the teacher to lock down the school. Then the soldiers went to the infected girl. After Tran and immediately disinfected. When she was carried out, covered with white powder, this is how the man saw his daughter become raw. Hurry up to check. They were stopped by soldiers. Just look at the girl being taken away. The school is closed now. Irina ran to find the anomaly. Hurry up and call the Athenian smartwatch. Fortunately, the boy answered Athens, hiding in prison. Irina also breathed a sigh of relief at the news. Tell your son to come out and see you. But when you see each other, Athena couldn't open the window. Athens was too weak to open the door. Irina told me to move aside, holding a stone and breaking the glass Irina door. And her mother also met, but they don't know. The whole city is now out of control. No one is allowed in. So how do you two escape? Over here Sergey and Anna are sleeping. I was awakened by a loud noise. I'm afraid something will happen, so I'm going to check it out. I see the evening light coming, hiding behind the wall to attack the enemy. It was your father, Boris. Sad to take you inside the house. And introduce Chona. Boris is here to worrying about his son. Mr. Jack's sister Gayetsau is still here, even though it's suburban. But Moscow has been completely locked down. We couldn't control the land spread of the disease anymore. When the epidemic broke out, human nature will not stand the test. When people in the city run away from See you sooner or later. It's dangerous. Boris is serious. He just agreed to leave tomorrow. At the same time, Irina, after saving Anton, I didn't dare go home. I'm just worried about you. Since the morning after I went out, and she hasn't come back yet. At this moment there's a knock outside. Irina opened the door and looked at her mother. She was infected. Irina was terrified and hurriedly closed the door. And my mother outside kept pleading for her help to open the door. But Irina was terrified. No longer have the spirit but leave her outside. At the same time, until midnight, Sergey silently went out. I'm going back to Moscow to save Anton. And tell your father if you don't get back in time. Take Anna away. Boris didn't stop you after listening. But so far the whole city has been locked down. The main road cannot be entered. So Sergey used the money to find a truck driver. Hide in the frozen chamber. Just like that we got into the city. When Anna wakes up, read the note Gay left. I went back to Moscow to save my son. I told you not to worry too much about coming here. Anna just prayed for the Gay sisters' peace. There's a noise outside right now. Boris is watching with binoculars. They found 2 armed men. I'm going to my neighbor Lionel's house. Boris recognizes the enemy's identity. In the heart of silent prayer. I hope they come to their house. But Lionel didn't think. Let 2 men into the house. When a stranger enters Marina's wife's house, she becomes Luna worried. Explained. They said they were just checking whether someone is infected or after not. The man came in. Then show your true face. Constantly complimenting the design of the house. Then he gave Lionel instructions not to check. Lionel also noticed something unusual. Asked the enemy to complete the inspection and leave quickly. Unfortunately, It's easy to go. Those to have no intention of leaving. The situation is difficult to control. Lionel quickly holds the photo. You want to use this to scare the enemy. Lionel hasn't finished yet. Was knocked unconscious by a man. Not long after, two men carried Demori saw this behavior of theirs. Immediately check the weapon in your hand, just in case the enemy comes to bother you. But those two didn't leave right away. It's aimed at Marina. Extremely scared, at the time they were about to strike. Suddenly there was a noise. The scared man fell down. Rao's Lionel's daughter, Polina. The other robber doesn't know. Go to the house next door to check. He went to the house and opened the iron door. I didn't know Boris was pointing a gun at me. The king was shot by Boris on the spot. As a result of the loud gunfire, everyone in the car hurried down to check. When Anna was scared, Misa's son ran outside with a gun. This is when the bad guy gets stabbed in the chest. Still not dead. He's strangling Polya. When you're about to choke to death, Polina struggling hard, just in time to fall behind. The dead man couldn't yawn. At a time when Polina was in Misa came running with a gun. I'm afraid you're worried about Polina, so there is no danger of entering. I saw Misa yelling at autism running to me. Paulina doesn't know how to do so. Fortunately, the danger was temporarily resolved. I saw two accomplices die. The driver also raised his hand. Proactively come to the door. Noon gate, please spare your life. Please, Boris, let's take the bodies. See the enemy. There's no danger. Boris agrees with him. Then everyone ran to Luna's house to check. Luna woke up very sorry. I can't believe people have become so evil. Without Boris, I'm afraid they'll be dead soon. But now is not the time to be afraid. Boris knows the enemy won't stop. Think about how to get out of here. But they have to wait for the gay sister to come back. The gay Noon has now managed to sneak into the city. I told the driver to wait a few minutes. But now the situation is extremely tense. The driver demanded more money. No matter how you pray, you will not change your mind. Gays just withdraw all their money. Wait in the car for a few minutes. Then he ran to Irina's house. After meeting Sister Gay, Irina was delighted, but you still have to check the gay sister's eyes. After confirming you're not infected, let me in the house. Rush time. After packing your luggage, Sister Gay takes two back to the truck. But there's animal meat on the streets. It seems that after the gay sister left, when they returned to the car, they found the driver. Sergei had to drive himself to get ready. Soldier's eyes. It's just that love isn't as simple as you think. After arriving at the guard station, the soldiers pulled up their cars and asked for paperwork. Sergei hurried to get the papers. After inspection, there is no problem. Soldiers start checking the trunk. I thought the soldiers were just checking. The soldiers opened the car. After checking the car, there was nothing. Preparing for passing. Then at this time, the soldiers just in time saw Irina hiding there. His ex-wife and son were discovered. Sergei directly kicked God to run away. It happened suddenly. The soldiers did not react. When he got the gun, Sergei ran away. Over here, the robbers returned to the base after the result was Lionel's punished house. By the leader. Shot a thief's finger. Then the leader gave the order. The whole thing is about to take revenge on Boris. Everyone has packed their bags now. It can start at any time, but Anna never left. Because you're worried about gay nuns. When the two of you were arguing, there was a car. The bandits are coming back for Everyone revenge. Is in a hurry to get ready to face them. After seeing clearly the enemy, everyone breathed a sigh of relief. Sasuke returned before dawn. Anna rushed anxiously to embrace him. You see, two people love each other so much. Irina was extremely jealous. I hate gay people for leaving Now is not the time to blame the enemy. If the gay sister came back, then they must prepare to go. After checking the car, Lionel discovered the car hasn't filled up yet. They will not run out. So send the gay sister to the warehouse where there's two gas tanks. But the gay sister goes there. There are also two fuel tanks on the shelves. To leave quickly. I don't care. Take two boxes back to the car. And then put gasoline in the car. Didn't know you took it for gasoline for the summer. It doesn't take long for their cars to smoke. All I could do was pull my car to a nearby gas station. Lionel had a different thought. He said he forgot to bring it. He'll drive himself back and get them here. I actually want to leave them. And he'll take his family to the airport, overseas. But he doesn't know. The bandits now came to the neighborhood and people are chasing them now. They come back the only way to die. Fortunately, Marina said she wanted to go to the bathroom and Lionel stopped the car. It was this that saved Lionel's family. Paulina in the car waiting. There are several cars in front. Get out of the car and tell Lionel. The enemy is the bandits who are looking for them. The leader saw the photo of Lionel. Shared shooting with car. I immediately recognized this car. I'm sure they haven't run very far. So he ordered everyone to go into the forest and the whole Luna family saw it. They fled under a slope. The bandits also came here. When they were about to be discovered, a robber said not to search anymore. After all, they're just stealing money. Not killing The result of this word irritated the leader. Beaten by the enemy Chute. At this time, the other members couldn't take it anymore. Shoot the leader. Finally, they came back and Lena's car left. Just like that, Lionel's family is out. Then Lionel announces gay sister. They said they found the zipper. But there will be trouble. Tell them to pick me up. Gay sister knows the news doesn't think much. Then drive there. I was scammed by Lionel. He said, if I wasn't lying, The skinny sister wouldn't be here. Skinny sister is very angry. But all I can do is take them away. But only agreed to take them to the gas station. Just like that, people ride to the gas station. Found here stuck people. The fuel is also out of luck. It's that there are people coughing all the time. A woman who suspects her partner is trying to scream. In a tense situation, there was a man with a knife. The crowd became chaotic. People are running around. Only Luna's house was left. Luna to the convenience store. After putting a bunch of money into the store, I thought I could spend the night here. But the gas station owner isn't a nice guy. After seeing such beautiful Polina, then came the bad idea. Pretending to give a glass of water to Polina to drink with me. See the enemy coming. Luna discovered his intentions. Stand up and stop him. I saw Lena's attitude, and the boss didn't pretend. Take out your guns and threaten everyone. Get out of here for a while. They don't know how to do so. Sergey driving back. You can't do that. You can't leave people behind. See the enemy as such. Lena was very moved to tell Sergey. The boss here keeps a lot of gas, but not for sale. So they came up with a plan. Sergey came to the door wanting to buy gasoline. The boss reached out for the money. Sergey grabs the enemy's hand. Then Lena came in with a gun. Not a word knocked him out. They just robbed the gas station. Take the boss's gas and drive. And this gas, they're following Boris's advice. Going to a Vokolero Island. Boris said there's an abandoned boat there. He used to vacation there. It's a good place to hide. So people drive to Lake Vogogo 1,000 kilometers away. The road was blocked by a fire truck. Sergey discovered here that there are guards everywhere. The battle seems to be over. Once confirmed, it is no longer dangerous. You're going to move the fire truck, and you can pull it off. The police found that there were soldiers in the back of the car. At the time of examining the situation, the soldier stabbed the injured gay. He immediately fainted. The event happened suddenly. It makes people panic. Hurry to take the gay sister away and find the villagers see that they have guns. Finally, just let people in. Then Irina sewed the wound with a needle. Gay Noon temporarily stops bleeding. Anna took the food. Stay here and give the villagers some food to thank But. After the man saw that the trunk had plenty of food, to steal food. To the evening, SAOs in winter, with back you start a fever. Seriously without injured. Antibiotics, there's a chance of death. By the time everyone plucked Lionel's ear out, I found a vet nearby. The vet's holding a big needle. Look at the needle in the opponent's Irina hand. Didn't mind asking if the opponent was effective. They say cows can be cured. Lake Chi people situation. However, after the injection, everyone was so excited. But by the time they gave up their guard, the man appeared and approached. Misa is packing up. After giving animals, Luna's doctor discovered that all the food in the car had been stolen. I found Misa lying motionless on the ground. After the food was stolen, Luna broke into the man's house. When I walked in, I saw a horrible scene. I can't believe the entire family was infected. Their eyes are white and they eat raw meat. Now the infected woman has lost her mind. Towards Luna. In a panic, Lionel just pulled the trigger. There was a murder. Everyone just packed up and left. When they leave, the ambulance in front was stopped by people. I knew there was medicine in the car. People immediately turn into bandits. Fighting for supplies in the car. Sergey just in time to pass by. I see the terrible scene in front of me. Everyone is bewildered. Ina can't sit still. He was ready to save the people in the car. When the gunfire broke out, the villagers just ran away. People came to save the doctor. The driver was beaten to death. Then they hurriedly drove out of here. But they didn't notice Anton, too scared to get out of the car. When he ran back, everyone was gone. So he went to a nearby village. Want to find help. The result is seeing soldiers. We're dealing with people who are infected. Avoid land infection epidemics. These soldiers directly shot people. It was at this time that the patrolmen discovered he rushed to the hospital, buried but you are still discovered. He was about to be shot by the enemy. Just in time for a doctor to show up and save Anton. After defeating the soldiers, doctor took Anton home. They just got home. It was not long before the soldiers arrived. The villagers hiding in the basement didn't dare make a sound. The doctor's husband was drunk in bed. The soldiers came to check without saying a word. Shot the enemy. People were terrified when they heard the gunfire. When they go out to check, the doctor's husband died. Look at the body. The villagers knew that sooner or later they would end up like this. So they decided to resist. Start practicing preparing your partner at any time. On this side, they found out that Irina is worried about putting all the blame on Anna. But you don't know where he's going. Now is not the time to argue. They had to find the boy quickly. So they drove back. But on the bridge, one shadow. Fortunately, Boris discovered footprints. People followed their footsteps into the forest. Find a Dr. Pavin. And saw bodies piled up. Irina looked at this as well. You don't risk running to your child. I didn't see your body. And when Irina was sobbing, there's a helicopter in the sky and let time fall. It shows the government's evacuation plan. People think if the item is not south, it's likely to have been evacuated. So they get to the site through binoculars. Of course I discovered a boy. Irina didn't care about the danger. The result on the car is not Athenian. Asked the soldiers, have you seen a boy in red? The doctor saw it at the right time. The soldiers won't let them leave now. and forced them to evacuate. I see the enemy doesn't agree. So Boris pulled out a gun and threatened the soldiers to let go. The battle can take place at any time. We see more and more soldiers. Sister Skinny and everyone is about to be surrounded. People immediately stood up to protest. Draw guns at soldiers. They finally won the war. After looking for food, the doctor actively sought out. They said White's current whereabouts. Irina finally found her son. After thanking everyone, continued to run away. But she couldn't run far. Anna started coughing. Apparently infected. They just paused nearby. Now Diana has a conspiracy. Anna's infected anyway. He doesn't want his family to get infected. That's after the discussion. They've located it. Getting to Lake Volga Zero. Before, Anna's child is on this side. Dr. Pavin tells when the new epidemic breaks out, he had contact with a lot of patients. Other patients are infected. Death is left alone. So he figured his body had an antibody membrane. So I used my serum to treat Anna. After a few days of treatment, Anna was well Lionel's again. Family has a problem here. Marina severe abdominal pain. About to be born. But in the wilderness like this, where's the midwife? Lena only had to constantly reassure her wife that down the slope even though BA people were lucky Marina lost her baby in the womb. The spirit becomes unstable, holding the baby's body without letting go. Outside, it's 10 degrees below If you don't seek refuge until evening, will die here. Luna dragged his wife and Polina into the forest. I hope to find a house. They're quite lucky, of course. By the time Luna was about to run out the front energy. There is quite upward. Luna got her spirit back. Now an old woman is going to Suddenly the bathroom. I heard footsteps outside. In times of confusion, the old lady is still on the step behind the door opened. Lena pointed the gun, but he didn't. He locked the old woman in the basement. Just like that, Lena occupied the enemy house. For Marina and Paulina have temporary accommodation. It was midnight when Marina slept. He took the baby and burned it. Because he knew Marina would go crazy if he didn't. No one knows. This decision will put you at risk. The next morning, I woke up to find the child was gone. Start searching. When she ran outside, there was a noise coming from downstairs. The kid down here said he was hungry. Marina lost her mind and ran back. Then opened the basement door. Not after a gun that wakes Polya. The old woman ran out and locked Paulina in the basement. In the dark, Polina finds her father beaten. And Marina went crazy. Just like that, your whole family is locked up. They didn't eat for a day and a night. I saw the thirsty Paulina only begged the enemy. Finally, she threw them a bottle of water. But it's not that easy to get food. Being a slave to the old woman, we have to cut wood every day. But hard labor in exchange for only moldy food. But they can't get out. They can only be locked in the basement. Over here, Anna recovers under the leadership of the shark. Gays continue on their way to Lake Volga Zero. Lena's car was caught in the middle of the road. There is blood everywhere on the ground. But they looked for a ring that didn't detect any egg. It's getting dark. If they don't leave, they'll die cold. So just get in the car. But Misa doesn't like Paulina. I want to find you. And Noongay and son. Arguing boy Misa suddenly had a seizure and fainted. They told them to just get Misa in the car. Then we went to Lake Volga Zero. Very quickly they arrived. People carry food on board the abandoned ship. The result, when they get on board, Serge suddenly found the door open. Obviously someone went first. One step they go into the test. There are traces of human life inside. They found a body in the basement. The enemy's leg was amputated. Pavin suspects this seems to be stored food. The enemy is likely to be a lunatic. Follow a man back here. Results are controlled by Sergei. You're not going to kill the enemy and send him away. All he did was pack the body. They got out of the boat and threatened Sergei. The enemy just got out of prison. There were 10 people, but there was no food. Most starved in the middle of the road. He relies on cannibalism to survive. Speaking of which, he remembered if he gets off the boat, sooner or later you'll starve to death outside. So he begs Sergei to forgive him, let him go with them. But Sergei can't keep his pervert. Not paying attention to the enemy. She pulled out a sewing knife now, and she took great precautions, fired a shot for him. Then they buried the bodies. The beginning of survival. Misa still remembers now, but that's Paulina a few days later. I don't care about objections. Take your weapons and drive out of Lake Volga Zero, ready to go back to search. You go back to the scene. Follow the trail of blood into the depths of the forest. From light to dark. I finally saw the light ahead. In the house, Luna was tied up in bed. The lonely old woman tried to mess with him. Misa accidentally stepped on the animal trap. I was so hurt, I almost fainted. I can't find the animal trap. Misa suppresses the pain, shoots off the chain with a gun. Sex made the old woman take precautions. Like this time Lionel attacked her. Then used the bedside to knock out the enemy. Then Lionel went to the front of the inspection window. I saw someone lying outside. After discovering the enemy, Lionel rushed him into the house and entrapped him. After treatment of the wound, Luna knew that Misa was hiding everyone and ran out. To gather with everyone, Lionel let the old lady out. They're driving towards Lake Volga Zero. At the same time, the gay side is also in danger. At a time when everyone Misa didn't say goodbye when there was an explosion outside. When I got out, I saw a plane crash. Sergei and the doctor went to check, but nothing was found. By the time you get back, suddenly there was a foreign flight attendant threatened with a knife. Has been. When you look into the eyes of the enemy, you know that the disease has spread to the whole world. The enemy forced them to lay down their weapons. Everyone can listen to him. Sometimes they don't kill. Paban holds a surgical knife to cut his opponent. You get out of control. Sergei then shoots and kills the enemy. Temporarily solve the problem. The next day Sergei was fishing. I saw someone coming this way. Because of yesterday, Sergei became very cautious. My wife picked up the gun. As these people get closer, I can see that Lionel's family. They hugged each other. The two families met again. When people think they're safe, then there was a loud explosion. The ship flamed up and down. Panicked people run towards the ship. The soldiers in the distance also saw this. A great danger is at hand. So that's the whole first season of the movie, Escape to Lake Polgo Zero. You see whether or not this movie is up to 10. How do you rate the movie? Please send the answer below. Comment section, let us know. Thank you for your interest. Follow. Hello and see you later.